Hi, I'm Elisa Withers. I'm one of the co-founders of APPI Health Group, and I'm here just to have a talk with you about our new Reformer online certification course. We're really pleased to be offering a new online Reformer certification course. It's become really apparent to us more recently, highlighted by this pandemic, that online learning offers an opportunity to so many more people than otherwise would have had that opportunity. So we're really excited to be able to offer this to everyone as an online course as well as an in-person course in those times when we're allowed. Our Reformer certification course consists of 3 separate modules. There's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. And the essence of all of our modules is to introduce Pilates teachers to this whole new world that the Reformer machine is, developed by Joseph Pilates back in the 1920s. It's such an incredible piece of equipment that opens up huge learning potentials for our clients. It's such a wonderful tool to have as a Pilates teacher. Our course teaches a foundation series of movements taken from Joe's original Pilates repertoire. And what's great about our foundation course is that once you've trained and practiced and certified in our course of foundation movements, it's our aim that throughout your teaching with us, we've placed you in a position then to be able to continue throughout your career learning more Joseph Pilates Reformer exercises and more of those evolved Pilates movements from around the world, from a whole myriad of fantastic teachers around the world, as well as us here at APPI who crave the Pilates method, its evolution, its application to so many different people. What we feel is unique about our approach, however, is our specific approach to rehabilitation and specific populations. Our repertoire has been scrutinized very closely by myself and Glenn and our master trainers, and is routinely done so, to look at how we are teaching each of these movements for different populations, in consideration of the ever-growing research that we gain on things such as biomechanics and pathophysiology, pathomechanics, the way injury affects our movement, the pain effect, response to movement and arousal and confidence. So we feel we have a very specific approach that we just really want to impress upon our students and teach you guys to scrutinize each of the Pilates movements, because I feel that Joseph's legacy is far beyond a simple movement. There's a really deep level of understanding that can be gained from each and every exercise, and that's what we aim to instill within you throughout your training and beyond. Our first module, Reformer Level 1, is an introductory weekend or 2-day session where we introduce you to the Reformer machine itself and a little bit of the history behind the Reformer, one of Joe's many inventions. The differences that there are now on the market, with many different Reformers now being available to people, and even within the balanced body family of Reformers which we choose to practice on, there being quite a number of different choices now. So understanding the Reformer and what the different components provide us with and the opportunities they allow us to explore for our clients is actually really important, because an outcome of an exercise can be totally changed by, for example, altering the length of the pulley ropes, adjusting the height of the pulleys at the end there, and the spring resistances are intricate. There's 5 different springs, and we have to really clearly and eventually subconsciously know which springs are suitable for not only which exercise, but which client in front of us and who brings their unique needs. So it's really important to us that you understand the anatomy of the reformer and how to take care of the reformers. We then go on to teach a beginner series of movements that are largely done in a supine position, where we feel it's a great starting place to get you learning the importance of alignment, the importance of correct muscle activation, and the correct ways to provide instruction and feedback, finding that balance. So the beginner course, the Reformer Level 1, is very much focusing on these foundation teaching aspects, using a series of beginner level movements, but with much attention to detail. Each movement has variations that are discussed and reviewed, along with modifications, along with suggested props that you can incorporate into the movements, not for the sake of varying or modifying, but for the sake of ensuring that your client, that unique person in front of you, is getting the most out of the exercise and experience that we're giving them as Pilates teachers. All of our modules have theoretical workshops throughout the tutorials, where we focus a lot on our visualizations and how they can be used to enhance our cueing, along with our tactile cueing, our methods of feedback, our assessment, importantly, of clients, both physically and from an arousal level point of view, and understanding different learner types. So as I say, all this key, essential teaching knowledge is introduced to you in Reformer Level 1. We provide you with a homework task on each of the weekends as well, to really enable you to consolidate what you've learnt, go away, have some practice time, and then some important and timely feedback from our teachers in regards to your homework and your practice over the weekend. Hi, it's Elisa Withers here. I'm one of the co-founders of APPI Health Group, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our Reformer Level 2 course as part of our certification program for the Reformer. Our Level 2 course really moves on from Level 1 in several ways. After having been introduced to the core concepts of the Reformer machine itself, the core foundations of movement in terms of alignment and cueing and muscle activation, Level 2 course is assuming a lot of that knowledge now. So we move on to introduce you to a whole new series of exercises in more functional and challenging positions. So moving on from supine, in Level 2, we look at a lot more exercises in sitting, which is a fabulous way to start retraining sitting posture and alignment and cueing and training in more upright postures. We also have a look at exercises in more unstable positions, such as kneeling and 4-point kneeling. And we are also looking at using a lot of hands-in straps. So the focus has shifted very much from lumbopelvic lower limb, beginner in Level 1, to now Level 2 being upright, being more functional, and using a lot of upper limb movements. So we get to retrain upper quadrant control with our arms and with loads. By now in Level 2, everyone's getting a much more confident grip on the springs and the resistances and how that's working. So it's a really great time to introduce some upper limb loading and retraining. Also in Level 2, we start to introduce group exercise teaching, because it's important to us at APPI that by the time you have completed your training with us, that you feel confident to teach in both a one-to-one setting and in a group exercise setting. So in Level 2, we start to teach you about group exercise teaching. We look at choreography and transitioning, and of course lots of practice in small groups, because it is quite a distinct skill, a very different skill compared to teaching in the one-to-one setting. So there's quite a different focus to our level 2, all really important as Pilates instructors, and we feel that it's a great intermediate level of movement, of learning, and as I say, introducing the group exercise teaching, which is a really important element, we feel, of being a Pilates teacher. Hi, it's Elisa Withers. I'm one of the co-founders of APPI Health Group, and I'm here to talk with you a little bit about our Level 3 online reformer course. Level 3 is a real move on, as one would expect from Level 2, in that we introduce a new series of movements that are at an intermediate towards advanced level. They're more challenging in that not only are we requiring alignment, muscle firing, correct positioning, full breathing, showing more skill in that we're executing movements with less effort, but we start introducing movements that we call total body movements that are no longer having a clear focus on, for example, lumbo-pelvic control, or a sort of more single focus on scapulothoracic control. The movements in Level 3 assume that local level of control has been achieved. The concepts such as alignment and awareness and how to correctly activate the right muscles to execute the movements is now achieved, so that we can put all of that into total body exercises whereby we have lumbo-pelvic control, scapulothoracic control, head and neck placement, deep breathing, abdominal control, all as equally as important and as the focus of one another. So it introduces a really fun and challenging array of exercises, and because we are looking more at intermediate and advanced movements, we are including exercises that are in much more functional and upright positions. So there's quite a number of movements in standing, for example, which is such a fabulous way to incorporate higher functional and end-stage rehabilitation into one's one-to-one program, as well as specifically tailored group exercise classes. So the exercise repertoire in Level 3, as I say, is definitely much more of an inter and an advanced level. We are also focusing heavily on our one-to-one programming, because it's so important for us that as APPI instructors, certified instructors, that it's not simply a movement program. It's such a depth of understanding of each of the exercises and the clinical reasoning behind the exercises selected with that unique client in front of you. So program planning is a very important part of our Level 3, whereby now you've got quite a broad range of exercises that you're familiar with. You're really becoming comfortable with the key concepts of learning. So now we want to really delve into that deeper level of understanding and knowing the specificity of our exercise selection is right on and matched very closely to the client's needs in front of us that we've gained from our initial assessments. And we work in small groups. Our instructors work very, very closely and are fortunate to have so many years of experience to work closely in offering you suggestions and guiding you and helping you to build your programs, so that we really are we are all becoming very specific and considered and mindful Pilates instructors, well above and beyond the simplicity of the beautiful movement in itself, because Joseph Pilates was a man of that himself. He had such a forward-thinking mind that his exercises were always much more than just a movement. So it's really important to us that we bring that out in you as instructors as well. We also spend time reviewing our group exercise pieces that we've covered in workshops and as homework tasks to again give you the confidence to program plan a group exercise class, considering the level of the class, the specific population of your class, the transitioning from springs to springs, from positions to positions, from feet straps to hand straps, that all of that is acutely considered and then becomes subconscious as you become more experienced as a group exercise teacher. So at level 3, we're really aiming to wrap you up as really well-founded in the essentials, second to none knowledge on the foundations of cueing, visualizations, tactile input to ensure that we've got correct alignment, correct muscle patterning. We're considering our special populations very closely. We're knowing how to clinically reason for both a one-to-one client session and a group exercise session, and we've got countless tricks in our bag for varying exercises that are taught throughout the course, and modifying exercises to ensure that our clients have the most positive Pilates experience with us as possible.